time, folks.
A good FPS can be a lot of fun. For me, a good FPS nails like 5 aspects: strategy, gunplay, movement, environment, and probably most importantly, fun with friends. Usually, if an FPS is lacking in any one of those other aspects, the last one can make up for it in most cases. Unfortunately, as of late, I don't think there are any standout FPSs that really catch my eye. Halo's fine, and I did try it recently to see if it has enough new stuff to make me want to play more, but unfortunately it just doesn't scratch that itch, you know? And also, none of my friends are playing it, so there's no point in even trying. COD is just COD. I really don't know if I need to say any more. Short review, don't play it, not worth $70, just buy it for $20 when it goes on sale eventually. So there I was, dejected, sad, looking for something, anything to scratch that FPS craving I was having. And it wasn't long until my friend said, hey, you should check out the finals, because holy shit. The finals is my new FPS obsession with friends. This game is ridiculously fun and unique and just crazy good times. There is a lot here and it's all very, very good. And honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with its unique base structure. The foundation is good and solid. The baseline of this game consists of 4 things: fun objective, a fantastic theme, a great map with extreme variety, and excellent character expression. Also, come here. Listen. This game is free. It's free. You can play it on any system. They have crossplay. The servers are great. They sustain themselves on in-game customization and battle pass like, every other free-to-play game. But as you are watching this video, just remember the fact that this game is free and it has crossplay and everything. All right? Just keep that in mind. Okay, so naturally, the question is now, what are you even doing in this so-called amazing game? Well, right now there's 2 game modes, technically 3, but 2 main ones. The first one is called Quick Cache, and in Quick Cache, you have to go to a safe, unlock it, take it to the cash out spot, and defend the cash out until you successfully reap the rewards. The entire time, the cash out can be stolen, or you can steal it from the enemy team. This mode is 3v3v3. The next one is called Bank It. This one, you have to open a safe, take the money, which are in like little coins, and deposit the money. But if you get killed on the way to the safe or while you're depositing, you'll drop all your money and the enemies can go and pick it up. Now you have to go run after them, get the money, and repeat the process until you successfully deposit it. This mode is 3v3v3v3. So there's 4 teams. And that third mode is like a tournament mode where it does those same game modes all together to where you have to deposit more than the other teams, and it's kind of a ladder system, and then basically it's just like a competitive aspect to it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have not played something like this before, and I know they do kind of exist. In COD and Battlefield, they have like their extraction mode with a bunch of people on the map and all that stuff, but realistically, this is quite different than those. Because the whole game is just these extraction modes, they have to make sure it's damn good. And oh my goodness, it is. Both game modes are a constant flux of just go, and strategic assault and defense. Blindly charging into a situation could work, but if you're up against a team that knows what they're doing, then you will very easily get wiped out. It really rewards taking advantage of chaos. Lots of fighting going on, jump in, take everyone out while they don't know you're there, making the cash out an easy steal. Or take the cash out while no one is looking and get your team to defend you if someone gets too close. Both are great ways to play and both flow really well. You're on the lookout for enemies and traps and just a ton of things while you're trying to cap the objectives. Kills matter, but in a strategic sense. Unless you're capturing the objective, KD doesn't matter for shit. You gotta actually play the game, which is really nice and it's really refreshing. I can't tell you how many times my friends and I have been playing this game and just we've been capturing the objective and all of a sudden a wrench gets thrown into the works and we have to adapt, improvise, figure out what's going on. You're always thinking on your feet. You're always making sure that, okay, how can we attack this objective? How can we take out this team? This team is really good. They're comprised of this different kind of people. How do we take them out with our weapons that we got? You got to strategize. You got to think, okay, what's the best solution to this problem? Because again, if you run into it blind, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to plan, you got to think, you got to strategize with your team. And like the thing is, it's not like CSGO or Valorant. Both are fun games in their own respects and they have their own good strategies and all that stuff. This game, I feel like the strategy is a bit more simple and a bit more easy to understand and execute. Hey, if this entrance is blocked or they have this kind of setup going on, all right, we got to go in from the back, use a gas grenade, whatever. Like, there's numerous options that you can use, apply, just whatever you want to do. Try it out because, again, like, the game is go, 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 go. So just keep trying stuff until it works. That's the whole thing. That's like the biggest thing about it, about these objectives. The fact that you're sitting on an objective, capturing a bank or whatever the case is, and you're constantly stressed, looking over your shoulder, your teammates are defending you, there's a bunch of stuff going on. You just got to really think and be like, okay, what's going on? Is what I'm doing working? If not, re-strategize, redo it, all that kind of stuff. And it's like not too stressful either. Near the ending half of the match, if no team has won by then, modifiers get thrown into the mix. Things like exploding dead bodies, giant alien saucers with tractor beams, meteor showers, mega damage, and more, all of which add a great, unique twist to the match. I remember going for a bank and all of a sudden a giant saucer just absorbs me and kills me. I'm just like, wait, what? And like, this thing is like, it's so goofy, and I have not seen something like this implemented before, and it's fun, it's neat, it's cute, I love it. Well, I don't know about cute, but whatever. The point is, it's good, you should try it. Anyways, the game forces you to play the objective. It is great because the objective itself is almost always in a highly contested area, forcing you into combat. An awesome loop that most definitely will have you returning for more. I think what also helps sell the game really well is the theming. The theming of this game is so fun. The game is a VR spectator sport, meaning everything that we're seeing is the contestants' POV in this huge game show.
The ultra rares, the shock and awe, and finally, the powerhouses. Welcome to Quick Cash, where speed is the key to victory. The first team to stash enough cash will reign supreme.
Exactly, Scotty. Let's see who rises to the occasion.
Like, we, the players, as in me on the mouse and keyboard, are the audience. Hence why we can hear the announcers and see a scoreboard, all that kind of stuff. Think like Apex Legends, but they really lean hard into the game show aspect and everything it may entail. It's goofy, it's fun, and you honestly don't have to think about it too much because it just works. They also really lead into that aspect, which is awesome. Instead of the usual blood and guts when someone dies, here they explode into coins, and it's just really cool and really satisfying. A lot of times, FPS games like to try and implement some weird convoluted reason as to why you're doing multiplayer, but here, honestly, it's just like, yo, go get that bread, win this competition, and that's it, bam. Now, I will say this game did get into a little bit of a dicey situation when it came to voiceover work. The game has really interesting announcers that are really quick and responsive to what's going on in the arena. Whether you die, steal a cash out, your entire team is wiped out, whatever the case is, the announcers are pretty quick with saying, hey, this team has one team member left, this team has all their members wiped, this team just stole the cash out, this team just scored. It's really impressive. Unfortunately, it came out that the finals is using an AI text-to-speech model instead of like proper voice actors. And in my opinion, while the AI stuff is like, it does work, it's a little disheartening to hear that this is becoming somewhat accepted in the industry, especially after a huge writers and actors strike. I do wish it was a proper voice actor and like proper voice acting. Like, what they have here does work, but realistically, I think the developer's reasoning of it takes forever to use proper voice actors is a little goofy. It sounds like a kid crying about something. It's like, I don't wanna, it takes forever. Like, don't do this kind of thing because it's a little weird, little dicey, and I can understand why people are upset. But all that aside, I do think the theming of this game is really good and it helps sell the package really well. It just makes you feel like you're part of this experience, makes you feel like, oh, like, yeah, I'm in a game show. Let's just go have fun with this dumb game show. Okay, so map design in an FPS is extremely important. A boring map will make you not want to play at all. I know for a fact that when I first jumped into COD, like the Modern Warfare 3 demo that I tried, and I loaded into shipment as the first thing, I was just like, oh my god, why? So the question is, how does the finals handle map design? Pretty well, pretty freaking well. It's pretty good, my guys. It's really, really fun. First off, there are a lot of maps in this game, so that's a plus just right off the bat. Secondly, the maps in this game are huge. Like, it's a whole downtown of a city or like a casino, whatever. But they do an excellent job of making a lot of movement options around the map to make sure you don't get bored running from one place to another. Spawns are pretty good too. They spawn you pretty close to the objectives when you respawn or when you spawn in. However, if for whatever reason you do spawn somewhere far, they got jump pads, ropes, elevators, zip lines. All these things are spread out like crazy and they make map traversal excellent. I think if you do it right, you can get from one end of the map to the other in like less than a minute. And that may sound like an obvious dodoy, but like with a map this size, it's a really pleasant surprise. Now, every class has their own method of getting around the map and controlling the map. And I'll talk about that in a second. But let's just say, like, what if you don't want to go around the map? Or what if you want to change the map? You know, like remove some walls, get rid of some windows, do some interior decorating, just like a little light work. This monkey brain thought of like, instead of going over wall, why not go through wall? Or instead of going up a floor, bring floor down, is the central part of this game. The destruction in the finals is probably the best aspect in this game.
He's literally just a right shield and knifing you. Behind you, behind you.
The level of destruction here is absolutely astonishing. It is most definitely the best aspect of this game by far. The maps are all breakable. Walls collapse, windows break, whole columns can explode. You can even bring down the whole building, and it's so cool. And I'd argue it's necessary to play the game properly. Someone's cashing out and you can't get to them through conventional doors and windows, break the building. No, seriously, throw a breaching charge and break the floor underneath them, or use a heavy and have them level the entire building. Destruction is the name of the game, and doing it strategically can win you the match. Like I said before, adapting in this game is vital. What worked in one match may not work in the next. What if you don't have a floor or walls or windows or a ceiling? All those things can be destroyed by players, and they will be. So if you're gonna be like, I'm just gonna camp here and stop people like last match, nah. Someone's gonna blow you out from under the floor, or someone's gonna destroy the ceiling, someone's gonna take an RPG, just wreck your stuff. It's a constant flow of like, oh my god, so much is going on. This is so fun, holy cow. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone under a cash out, set up a breaching charge, and have my team set up a trap below that. And then when I blow the charge, everything falls. The people, the cash out, and the other teams that may be there, and they just take tons of damage and we get a free cash out. It's so fun, but again, that may not work in the next game because they may be on the ground floor or I can't destroy the floor underneath it. It's just a constant changing situation. And the thing is, even if I don't have like a breaching charge or a heavy equipped, there are so many options for destruction at my disposal, you don't necessarily have to have a specific loadout every single time. The map is full of items to pick up and throw. Things like goo, smoke, explosives, fire, poison, all these things have their own uses and they're all viable traps and hazards to utilize. Map design, map traversal, map destruction, map interactability, all of those things coalesce into a fantastic level for you to play on. All the levels are like this, by the way. It's not just one map is better than the others. There are some designs that I prefer, but they all have that same level of destructibility, interactability, design, all that kind of stuff. Embark did a great job in creating space where you really feel as though that what you do on the map matters, and it's engaging and it's fun. I have never seen a shooter with this kind of level design impact the gameplay. Like, everything is thought out, and no matter what you do, you can do something to the game. Realistically, I think other FPSs should look at the finals as inspiration to be like, oh, that's pretty good. Like, we should try to do something like that. Which, honestly, if done right, I personally don't have a problem with. Too often we're met with the same old boring FPS maps, and while those do have their place, this fresh, new iteration on player expression through destruction really makes this game stand out and worth your time alone. My friends and I really enjoy it. Even if you don't win, every match feels substantial and fun because you did something to impact the outcome of the game, somehow, somewhere. Now, as you're running on the map with your friends, destroying buildings, getting cash outs, the final piece of player expression you can really dive into is the class system. There are 3 classes in this game: a light, a medium, and a heavy, all of which have unique abilities, guns, and tacticals available to them, and there is very little overlap between all of them, so it's important to look at what each one offers and pick your favorite and pick the one that serves your team the best. The light class is a quick, agile class that specializes in movement, stealth, and quick bursts of damage. They have the least amount of health, but the fastest move speed. And their equipment consists of submachine guns, throwing knives, bladed melee weapons, and crowd control like smoke or stun guns. Honestly, this is my favorite class. You're like an annoying mosquito, and if someone just is like, fucking get his ass, oh my god! If done right, you can be the most annoying player for the other team, and it's so fun. The movement options you have, along with the high damage output, makes for a great combat-ready class. The downside being you don't really have the highest pool of health, making fighting head-on like a bit of a challenge, but you'll figure it out, right? The medium class is a moderately quick class that specializes in supporting the team. They have a bigger pool of health than the light class, and their equipment consists more of typical assault rifles, shotguns, semi-automatic rifles, and other team movement items like ziplines and jump pads, as well as defibs and healing items for the team. This class is like Mercy and Torbjorn all rolled into one. You need healing? Too bad, I brought the turret. This is awkward. Get over it. This class is good and it requires the player to be focused on keeping the team alive, as well as objective defense with their turrets, healing, and information gathering through sonar detection. This class is pretty well balanced, and I think it's a great place to learn the game. The heavy class is the slowest of the three and specializes in protecting the team as well as a massive amount of destruction. They have the biggest pool of health, and their equipment consists of heavy weapons like LMGs, grenade launchers, and other destruction-based items like grenades, a sledgehammer, RPGs, and just a super fun charge ability that can take out whole buildings if used correctly. This is like if you're off the top rope from WWE and just slam down into a building. That's what this class is. You're just like monkey braining your way through a bunch of stuff, and it's super fun. This is probably my second favorite class, and rightfully so. Once you try it, you'll see what I mean. Now, all these options are great and a lot of fun, but to truly win a game, you'll need a good balance. You don't necessarily need one of each to win the game, but having a variety definitely makes it a lot easier. I found that running with one of each makes every person valuable in a different aspect, and that may work for you as well. It just depends on your teammates, to be honest. There is not one way to do it, so just experiment and explore. Time to kill is great as well. It doesn't take too long, it isn't too quick either. It's just right. Of course, that varies with, however much health you have, what weapon the other person is using, but the trade-offs are pretty well balanced. Weapons and gear are unlocked through playing the game, and doing better nets you better rewards. Gunplay is good. All the weapons feel good and have their specific uses, so play to those strengths. A flamethrower isn't going to be able to do long range, whereas a sniper is going to be bad close range. I love the throwing knives. I miss a lot with them, so I get to hear that amazing just like ping noise they make as they bounce off a wall. Regardless, guns feel great and lend themselves to a fun, balanced experience. And again, they don't overcomplicate it here. It's more of a rock, paper, scissors system they got going on. Assault rifle's good against X, X is good against Y, and Y is good against Z, and so on and so forth. No need to add like 50 attachments and variations for the same gun because you don't need it. Again, the destruction and abilities are the main highlights here. And that's good because that creates a great loop of, well, if everyone can destroy and everyone can contribute, let's try all the classes. There's no need to do any one specific one. Every class feels good to play, every class should be explored, and every class should be experimented with. It creates a well-balanced experience, a loop that is simple, well-designed, and fun. Getting a team of friends together who communicate is awesome, and I think the finals nails almost everything it has going for it. I know for a fact I'm going to be playing this game a lot. I love the world, the map, the player expression, and overall craziness you can get into here. And like I said before, it's free and it's fun with friends. It's a unique game with unique elements sprinkled everywhere, and they're all great. Rarely do you see a game such as this executed in a way that makes you excited to play more. So when one does come around, you gotta hold on tight. Especially in a world where FPSs are at an all-time low in terms of creativity and enjoyment. The finals nails the 4 aspects I talked about in the start. The game is excellent with friends, it has a lot of destruction, and just overall, it's just really good to be in the world. Hearing stories of how my friends won their games and how I won my games and just sharing those things is really fun because it kind of gives me ideas to say, oh, I didn't know you could do that, and vice versa. My friends are like, oh shoot, I didn't know you could do it that way. All right, let's try it next time. And it's just a constant refreshing experience. Now, I don't know if this video qualifies as a review, but I do think you should check out the finals if you're into FPSs. It's fun, strategic, chaotic, and an excellent, well put together package. The level of polish here is really astounding and beautiful. The game runs extremely well, plays how a AAA studio game should, and it also looks fantastic, by the way. Like, the graphical fidelity here is great, and I really am surprised at how well it runs. And because the gameplay loop is built in a way that makes you feel as though you're contributing every single time you play, coming back to it is awesome. And you know it's not going to be the same as last match because, again, the destruction brings about a new element every single time. It is a fun, cohesive package. The finals is a game to keep in your rotation for sure. And like I said before, the game is free, dude. That's the biggest plus here. Everything I mentioned, everything I was hyping up before, as good as it is, it's free. At least give it a try for a little bit. If you don't like it, then bam, it's gone. You don't have to play it anymore, but realistically, you won't lose out much. I cannot wait to play more of this game, to be honest. It has me and all my friends in a tizzy, and rightfully so. Oftentimes, we actually have an issue of figuring out who gets to play with who because so many of us want to play together at the same time, but because of the 3-team limitation, can't really do that. Embark, if you're listening, bro, please add in like a custom game mode, custom tournament, something. I want to fight my friends and lose to them. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe. Have a good one.